Hey guys, God bless you all. The reason I'm making this video today is I've discovered that there's a connection between May Day and the Mark of the Beast. Okay. Um, how I came to this conclusion was I was reading the book of Psalms and I came to 120 and 121. And in my paper Bible, next to these two Psalms, I wrote, May Day is the 121st day of the year. And as I got to reading this, and I was taken back to a time when I did a group of studies on May Day. And there was a lady called TV Shores who goes by, I think, Seek and Ye Shall Find. And her and I did this study about the same time, and we both was laid on our hearts about the same time. And we didn't know if the Lord was showing us a possible rapture time frame or exactly what, but we both studied May Day and the surrounding, because there's International Workers' Day as well, okay? And, May Day is a great cry of distress. So there was a lot of things of course, in Egypt, I think chapter 9 talks about a great cry was heard at midnight. So there were some things that we were thinking that maybe a rapture event, could happen or something at that time. May Day also ties into this story called the Wicker Man, which was a Christian being burned alive for his faith, which goes back to the Burning Man, which let me pull that up. The Burning Man is a festival out in Nevada where they set up effigies and different things waiting for this being to come and share immortality, and they end up burning. Is it symbolic of killing Christians? I don't know, but that's it's at Black Rock, Nevada, and they come and set up all these tents and everything in this half moon. This is the exact same shape as the UN Council meeting. Let's look at that real quick. Same exact shape. This horseshoe, type scenario thing here. The Grox breaks down this painting, the Day of the Dead, the Phoenix Rising, the wedding, Supper of the Lamb, the football. I mean, it's all just overdone. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, so they have this Black Rock and this effigy and everything that goes on out there. And, everyone dresses up or gets naked or does kind of whatever they want, and a big art festival is what most of them would call it, type of thing. Anyway, so I did a set of those videos and I studied this extensively. And what I found out, this goes back to the maypole. I'm just going to get very basic here. The maypole is a phallus. And these are the streamers. You can call them streamers of DNA, or you can call them streamers of semen, or whatever you want to call them, but that's exactly what it is. That this is a phallus. This is Satan's phallus. And these are going out to the virgins. Let me find a better picture here for you. To the virgins, all right? And then you pick a May Queen, and I mean, it's a very disgusting type of thing, all right? Is what exactly May Day is all about. All right, it's about this DNA and these streamers, and you can see them, there. And if you've looked at the Baphomet and you've seen Satan, he's got this thing at the top, and of course it goes down. And so anyway, it's got the snake on it, the Ouroboros looking snake, or the figure eight. I'm sorry, the infinity type thing. So as I was looking at this and reading this Psalm 121, I just looked up 121 real quick. I thought it was very interesting that the emergency telephone number in Egypt is 121, which we know Egypt is the center base of all knowledge, from the tree of good and evil, or from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And, just like we have 911, which essentially calls on the beast from the pit for help, you have this telephone number here in Egypt, 121. So just a couple interesting things. Now, so the first thing I did is I happened to look up Strong's H120 and H121, and I was surprised that both of them actually mean Adam in a different sense. Adam as in mankind, all right, mankind, human being, and Adam as in the individual, the first man, all right, red, Adam. And it's no surprise, or it should be no surprise, guys, that what they are trying to do with the mark of the beast, okay, is create a false immortality. It's going to be, it's okay. Let's say it this way: they're going to create immortality through technology with this mark, with the RFID. The RFID chip is going to attach to your nervous system, all right, and it's going to place an entity controlling you. Exactly, that's exactly what it's going to be. All right, an entity will control you. You'll have no control whatsoever on your own. You will be driven like a puppet with this entity. Now, I would suggest, if you haven't seen any Mark of the Beast videos that points you to this direction or somewhat to this direction, that you stop and probably watch that first. Now, the what's going to happen with that, okay, is your soul is lost at that point, okay, because the Bible's clearly tells us those that take the mark of the beast. In fact, I'm going to pull it up. If any man worship the beast in his image, or receive his mark in his forehand or his hand, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. There's no redemption process if you take the mark of the beast. There is none. That's because you lose your connection. You lose your soul, your connection to God. All right, and it goes deep, guys. It goes deep. It goes back to the dog star Sirius, Jesus Christ, the morning star. Dog star Sirius is also the morning star. It's the greatest star in our solar system. It gives off a rainbow light, which is pure light, because pure light is made up of many colors, just like the coat of many colors. Anyway, you lose your soul in the event you take this mark. Okay, that's why soul is so paramount in these two psalms. What they're trying to do is take away your soul and then exchange it for this mark, which will change your DNA and allow an entity to control you. Look at my dreams on the mark of the beast, and look at the studies on the mark of the beast, okay, before you go any further at this point, all right, if you haven't done so. So as I was looking at this psalm and reading it, I didn't get everything gleaned from this, I don't think, yet. I don't know. But what really stood out to me was this verse here at first, okay? And I see the psalmist is saying, "Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips." In other words, he's wanting protection of his soul. He's not saying, "Deliver me, deliver me." He's saying, "Deliver my soul from the deceitful tongue. Who shall it be given to? What shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue?" This is the man of perdition, the Antichrist, mark of the beast, whatever you want to label him as. "Sharp arrows of the mighty, the coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in Mesesh." Now, Mesesh goes back to the land of Gog and Magog. Okay. Now, this boy Nathan, who saw heaven, talks about Obama directly by name as being Gog and Magog. So let's continue. This is what really got me right here. I dwell in the tents of Kedar. I dwell in the tents of Kedar. What does that statement mean? All right, let's find out here. What that means is you are dwelling where it is cut off to worship the true God. You will no longer be allowed to worship God in heaven. Period. You are not allowed to worship the true God in this land. Okay, that's exactly what this guy is saying. To dwell in the tents of Kedar was to be cut off from the worship of the true God. Right? The Kedarites suffered from the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, Jeremiah. Okay, so that's what that statement means. When I saw that, immediately in my mind, I knew that the mark of the beast has somehow been either initiated or mandatory during the psalmist, what he's seeing here. All right, my soul hath long dwelt with him in hated peace. I am for peace, but when I speak peace, they are for war. Okay? Obviously, he's saying he will not suffer my foot to be moved. He will keep me. He will not slumber. He that keeps Israel does not slumber, and he's their keeper. This also caught my attention. Lord is thy shade upon my right hand. What does this statement mean? What is shade? What is the right hand? We know is one of the places that will employ the mark of the beast, where it'll have to go. The right hand and also the forehead. Now, the guy that designed this mark actually became a Christian, and he said that the right hand there's something to do with the temperature and charging the battery of it or something like that, and that's why the forehand and the right hand were chosen for this place, for the placement of the mark. Okay, I can't think of his name right now, but he does several videos, and you can catch them on YouTube. I'll see if I can find a link. The Lord is thy shade. What does that mean? And let's go find out real quick. The Lord, here we are right here. This is the Strong's portion. The Lord is thy shade. Defense, shade, shadow, defense, protection. Okay, what I think he's saying here is, even though this guy does not have the mark, the Lord is going to protect him upon his right hand. The Lord is going to somehow obscure his right hand or protect the visual enemy from seeing what is supposed to be in his right hand. Okay, the sun shall not smite thee by day or by noon. Preserve my soul. He shall preserve my soul. All right, and again, the soul being what will be removed and taken out with that entity going in. Yeah, you look at the psalm and you're just like, he's just like, where's my help going to come from? I'm in a very, very bad place. And it's just, I'm trying to think of where, right here. Yeah, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. Yeah, right here. This right here. I lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and the earth. And we've all heard that in the songs and stuff. But he's looking up. He's like, where is, I am at a bad place right now. Okay, so, all right, that's the psalm. Now, what I thought was interesting was this, okay, because as I'm looking at this and kind of looking at it and trying to figure out where the Lord is trying to take me with it, I calculated just on a whim, God's whim, I guess, from May 1st, which is actually International Workers' Day. May Day does not fall until the 7th, okay? But International Workers' Day, which is part of the May Day program, if you will, falls on the 1st. And you count 40 days back, and it takes you to 322. Now, again, not predicting any dates or anything, but this date has got to mean something, and I believe this one definitely does, okay? Now, let's look real quick at, so you have this 40-day reference, and I went to Wikipedia, and of course you have the famous 322 here, and this talks briefly about them, but I noticed that where they go for rest and where they go for relaxation is a 40-acre retreat in the wilderness, essentially. So they have a 40-acre retreat in the wilderness, and I can see how I could see how this could be a 40-day of testing for the lukewarm, okay? We know the lukewarm are spewed out of the mouth of Jesus Christ, which means they don't get to go through the door, all right? They will have to endure for a time. And could it be the 40 days of the storm that they will have to endure? However, they are protected, okay? I'm not sure. Guys, I'm not sure. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Could another possibility be this is the day that it becomes mandatory to take that mark? Again, throwing ideas out there. I don't know. But there's something significant here. All right. Now, John Kleck a while ago did a video on the skull and bones. And he starts off by just drawing a tree. Okay. And it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He introduces Genesis 3:22. All right. They wanted to become like God, so they took the fruit and ate it, okay, which they shouldn't have done. They were like gods before, okay. They dwelled with God, lived with God. Again, it goes back to this immortality that we've been chasing. And he takes this tree and he draws people going to this tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And then he flips it upside down. All right, and it becomes this. There's the tree, and there's the people going to the tree. All right, it also becomes a nuclear explosion right here. A nuclear bomb going off. And that's, you can see obviously the title there. You can search for that and find it. And this video goes on, talks about other things, but that's exactly the tree of knowledge and good and evil. They wanted the immortality, right? Them going to it, all right? It should be no surprise, but just to refresh your memories, you have 40 in the Bible, usually symbolizes a period of testing, trial, or probation, okay? So my questions would be, 322, is there obviously a significant date by the elite? Something's going to happen, I'm quite sure. Can God stop that? Sure, absolutely. But there is a definite connection between that 40 days. All right, there's that 40 days, which sticks out like a sore thumb. Okay. Anyway, and this is International Workers' Day on the 1st. But that's what I wanted to present to you guys, just to get your thoughts and ideas on it. All right. God bless you all. Take care.